What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you guys how to install a double end ball in your home or your apartment without modifying or drilling into your ceiling or into your floor. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so I wanted to show you guys what's included in this quick puncher, aka version of a double end bag that you can use in your home without drilling into your ceiling or whatever vertical surface it is, especially for those of you that live in an apartment and you guys want a solution for a double end bag. Now, keep in mind, this is not going to be as good or as durable as a double end bag. That's kind of the trade-off with this. Obviously, the best way to go is to be able to drill in and to screw into the ceiling or into a stud or to a door frame. But if you don't want to do that and you just want to do something, an alternative, I think this will be a good alternative for you, and it definitely worked for me. I've tried this out and used it in my doorway in my house. So there's going to be 3 items you're going to need. 2 of them on Amazon. Well, actually, you can get the kettlebell from Amazon if you want. That's really the only other thing that I had that was laying around. But the first 2 things I'll put down below in the description box. First is going to be this pretty generic. It's called Metaball. It's just basically like the title, boxing quick puncher. It comes with this foam ball right here with the 2 adjustable compression clips right here that basically allows you to adjust the height. And then it comes with this elastic cord, which is kind of like a double end bag where you have that elastic cord. And then it comes with these suction cups. Now, the suction cups that it comes with, you will not be using. So what you're going to need is you're going to need to get a Phillips screwdriver like I used here. And you're going to have to unscrew these suction cups that come with this little quick puncher ball, and you won't be using it. So when you're done unscrewing it, it's fairly simple and easy. You'll just put them to the side. It has a couple of screws that it comes with, and you could probably just end up putting it back in the bag because you won't be using that anymore. Then it comes with this little black carabiner. You will be using that, and this adjustable clip at the bottom, which you'll be using. The second thing is going to be this Qmagic suction hook. This is going to be the main component. Now, the reason I got these suction hooks right here, this is not the regular suction hook like you see here. This one actually works on some semi-smooth, somewhat rough surfaces. Now, in many of our homes, depending on where you live, if you have a door frame, it's usually made out of wood and it has a texture to it. Even like this table that I have here has a little bit of texture. So it's a lot of times it's really hard for a standard suction cup to stick to wood type textures or anything. Suction cups usually are meant to stick to glass or to like a slick surface to grab onto. A lot of times, windshield repair companies, they use suction cups to pull the windshield off of a car because you can put it on there and it pulls it right up. When it comes to like using in your home for like a door frame or even the drywall on your wall, it has a texture to it, and that's what makes it really hard. Again, I'll put the link below in the description box on this particular brand, Qmagic number 72 suction hook, because this is the one I use and it's worked really well as far as being able to use this on wooden door frames that have minimal texture, or even on drywall, painted drywall that might have like a knockdown or an eggshell type texture and it still holds. So I'm going to show you guys how I use this and how I have everything set up. And then lastly, I have my own just 15-pound kettlebell ball. You don't need, this is what I use to anchor to the floor, obviously because I'm not drilling into the floor. I would say a minimum of maybe 10 to 15 pound weight. It doesn't have to be a kettlebell. It could be a barbell. It could just be anything that's heavy, as long as you can tie the elastic cord around it, and then you can use this adjustment. Now, when everything's all set up and done, you'll see what I mean, but that's essentially all you need is the ball. Again, link below in the description box. The suction cups. This is 20 bucks. This is about 20 bucks. So about 40 bucks for the 2 of these included. And then whatever weight you decide to use, I have my kettlebell here. And that's all you really need. So I'm going to go show you guys how I set it up and how it works. I have everything all set up here. I have the quick puncher ball with the elastic cord, the suction cup, the carabiner, and my kettlebell. I'm just doing it right here just to show you guys. This is just my doorway, standard door frame. You guys obviously might have one that's different. If you have one that's completely flat, you don't have any type of, you know, indentation, that's perfect. That actually works out in your favor. Me, I'm kind of screwed because I have all of this, all of these dents and stuff. So there's no way the suction cup's gonna stick on that because it's not flat enough. And you can see my actual drywall. This is called knockdown texture. So what you have to do is, the first thing is you want to place the suction cup. What you want to do is try to find the most, I guess, the flattest area that doesn't have the biggest bump. So I'm going to show you how to place the suction cup. You also want it high enough to where the carabiner doesn't hit the door frame. Now again, there's two ways you can do it. You can mount to the door frame if you're lucky enough to have one that's completely flat, doesn't have any texture. If you're like me and you don't have that, you can mount it to the drywall right above the doorway. That way you can mount it and it sticks. Now, here's the actual suction cup. The main thing you want to do is you want to put water on this, because that's how this thing creates suction for textured surfaces. So I'm going to put a little bit of water on here. Just dip my finger in some water, rub it on the surface, and then from here we're going to go ahead and find the surface. Now you can see it has this hook. That's what the actual carabiner is going to stick onto. What you want to do is you want to find a spot. Okay, so I'm going to find the spot right here, and then from here you push it. And when you start pushing it, you'll actually feel this button. You see that button I'm pushing will start to push in because it's creating suction. So now you can actually see the hook is on there. And the more you push on it, the more suction it creates. And we'll just try to find a good spot. There it is. Okay. It started coming off there for a second. Okay. So you have suction on there. That's good. Now you want to wait about 5 minutes or so to allow the suction to really pull back. Once that suction is created, then we can actually attach the carabiner with the elastic cord on there, and then get this whole double end bag going. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to tie up this elastic cord, and then we'll mount it to the hook right here. Okay guys, so I have the double end ball right here. The carabiner is going to go on the open end. What I mean by that is this elastic end that doesn't have the clip. So this compression clip is going to be the end that goes to the bottom to where my weight is at, or my kettlebell is at, or whatever weight you guys want to use. So, but the top part right here is going to be what I'm going to screw, or what I'm going to tie in onto this carabiner, and what's ultimately going to go up to this hook up here, and to hold it into place. So I'm just going to tie a standard knot in here to make sure it's nice and tight. You can have a little extra slack to give yourself there. So I'm going to tie this knot and get this right through, make sure it's nice and tight. So the main thing with this is just make sure it's tight enough to where once you tighten it down, once you start hitting the ball, the last thing you want is for this thing to go flying off. The nice thing about this ball is it's really soft. It's not like a standard double end bag where it's this big thing and you have these really strong rubber elastic cords where you hit it and it has a lot of tension pulling on something. This elastic cord is nice and pretty forgiving, especially if you're using it indoors on your door frame. You don't really have to worry about there being too much force being applied to it. So you can see here I have the carabiner just attached to the very top of this elastic band. Here's a compression clip, here's a ball, another compression clip for the height adjustment, the elastic cord with the compression clip at the very bottom, which will go onto the ball. So let me go ahead and show you guys how I attach to the top and to the bottom. Go ahead and attach this. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. This is going to go right here on the hook. And notice that I made it to where if you're not putting it on the door frame, you're putting it on the wall above the door frame. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a lip right here. I put it high enough to where this carabiner is not hitting against the door frame. If you go too low, the carabiner is going to hit this and it's going to make a banging sound, which kind of sucks. So just make sure it's high enough to where it clears the door frame. So that's all hooked up. Now we're going to hook it up to the bottom to the kettlebell. All right, now I have the kettlebell right here. And all I'm gonna do, this is actually really simple. This compression clip actually has 2 holes. I'll bring it up close for you guys to see. And when you compress it down, you can see it's spring loaded. And that actually works out really nice. So you basically want to put one end through the compression clips like that. That's pretty much that. And then from here, it's going to go underneath the kettlebell handle or whatever device you're using. You're going to compress it again. You're going to push the elastic cord through the other end. And then from here, you just basically pull the open end of the cord all the way through. And this is what's going to create the tension. So I have the clip on top of the handle right there. And this is what's going to create the amount of tension that I want in this double end bag cord. So I'm going to pull it if I want more. You don't really have to worry about this excess. I mean, you can trim it. That's totally up to you. But that's pretty much that. So I'm going to kind of pull more just to get a little bit more tension. So you can adjust this for the amount of tension that you want. And then from here, I'll show you guys how to adjust the ball. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and adjust the ball. So, you know, the height of it is completely up to you. Again, I like to keep it right about nose, mouth level for the height. And you can see this spring clip at the bottom. That's going to adjust your height. And then there's just this top one right here. And that's basically just to keep it in place so the ball doesn't hop up. But pretty cheap setup. I mean, you can see right here, nothing's been drilled. I just anchored it to the floor using my kettlebell or whatever weight you want to use. So there's really no modification or drilling required. And now you can just hit it. The main thing is when you're getting this and you put the hook up onto the drywall or into the door frame, you let it set. If you try to go at it right away, that hook will probably just pop right off the drywall. Not a huge deal. You just have to reapply it, but just take your time, put it on there, and you got yourself a nice double end bag you can use in your home, your apartment, your studio, wherever you live. You can use this. I mean, hell, you can even put this into your office, bring this with you to work if you want to get a workout in. And you can see, again, this is not going to replicate as good as a double end bag, but still not bad for home use, especially for those of you that have been looking for an alternative and don't want to modify your home. So this is really good. And again, you can see I can tighten this up if I wanted to give it a little bit more bounce back. Just completely up to you, or speed up the rebound of this ball. You don't really even need to use gloves. I mean, this ball is pretty soft. You just have to be mindful of these little compression clips, you know, hitting that with your knuckles. So maybe you get yourself a small couple of mitts. Can use your gloves, completely up to you, just to work on accuracy. But overall, a really nice setup, pretty cheap, and you don't have to modify your home. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link, or should I say links, in the description box where you can find the double end ball as well as the suction cups. That's the main component. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.